We had a small group of girls who were disengaged and unwilling to participate often in some of the activities and learning. I took the students aside and asked what it was that was particularly troubling them with the program, and we established that it was the fact that they thought there were too many interruptions to the day and to their learning. So I then set about resolving this problem with them through teaching them the PDSA cycle and what tools they could use to improve the system that we were working in.
We did a project on how many interruptions we get during the day, and we thought that there was too many, so we decided to do a project on that. This is what we went by, like we did our project by this, and this helped us just tell us more about what we were meant to do. So we were just brainstorming all the things, all the interruptions that we get, just all the things that make us get interrupted, like neighbourhood workshops, our friends coming around, and that's what all these things are.
What we did is we got all the data from this project to this one, and we did an NGT, and we wrote all the group names along the side, and then we got a sticky note each, and then we wrote what we think's the least important to the most important. We got our total, and we ended up having interruptions as the biggest distraction.
This is Plan 3, the team agreement, and we thought, well, if we're going to be in a group, we should have some rules, and we thought no one should drop out, because then someone else might drop out and there might not be a group again, and no slacking off, so no one just doing one thing and then someone else not doing anything. Define the opportunity is, well, we have what the problem is, but we just wanted to know what they were caused by, mostly, and it was neighbourhood interruptions, and our friends, if we're sitting down, our friends might come and go, "Hi, what are you doing?" and then just interrupting us. And family guides, they sometimes have to have notices, and reminders.
This is stage 4 of planning. We had to do the current situation. Students are distracted from their learning by the interruptions that are made throughout the day. The impact, the impact on us, this affects us because it stops us from learning and it breaks our concentration. And our desire, what we wanted to happen. So, less interruptions throughout the day so we can learn in peace and happily, so that we get more work done.
We did a survey to find out if people are really getting interrupted by neighbourhood workshops. We did a frequency chart on interruptions over 2 weeks. So every day we would come to school, and if there was an interruption, say on Monday, and one of us would run up and put a tally on Monday, and then we did that throughout that whole day, and then do the total at the end, and then we'd do that for 2 weeks, and overall there were 57 interruptions.
We wrote the question, do you think there are too many interruptions during the day? And we stuck it on the door over there. We gave everyone a hot dot, and then they put on their answer. Yes was 97, sometimes was 14, and no was 12. We got our data from this hot dot and made a pie chart out of it on the computer, and it just shows us the percentage of how many said yes, who said no, and who said sometimes. And then this is our frequency chart of our interruptions during the 2 weeks of week 1 and week 2.
This is number 8, and it's analyse the causes, and we used an affinity diagram, and what we did is we thought of all the interruptions, how they were made, and we just put them all over the page, and then we grouped them into little groups. Friendship problems, behaviour, neighbourhood workshops and workshops, announcements, and noise.
This is stage 9 of our plan. It was the interrelationship diagram. All we had to do was from the analysing the causes, we had to get the headings of them and put them onto a sticky note each, and then we had to see whether the noise was a problem for the neighbourhood workshop or the workshops was a problem for the noise, and vice versa for all the separate ones. And the one that had the most arrows pointing out would be the biggest problem of all. And as you see here, the neighbourhood workshop was the biggest problem because all the arrows were pointing out.
Stage 10 of our project is if-then, and we found our biggest cause of interruptions, which was neighbourhood workshops. So we did a question in the middle: how do we stop neighbourhood workshops becoming an interruption? If we did this idea, then what would be the problem? And then just do it again. And then we did a few ideas of those, and then we found out our best 3, which were whiteboard of announcements and workshop board organised and a letter.
Neighbourhood workshops were our biggest cause. We decided to make only 2 workshops a week. One would be on Monday 9:15 till 10, which is 45 minutes, and then we'd go to one in the morning on Friday 9:15 till 10. We're up to stage 11 of our plan. We had to tell the teachers in a letter about what they had to do, and they had to put their announcement on the whiteboard, which is over there, and and at the start of the day all the announcement would be read out instead of bits and pieces. In the formal letter we had to just tell them what was happening, what we wanted the system to be. Our next steps are to just see how many interruptions we get a day, and today we didn't have any, so that's a big difference compared to having 6 a day.
Not only did it empower them to enable them to work on the system, not just working within it, but it also contributed further to their learning. They linked certain parts of the PDSA cycle to their capacity matrices. They wrote formal letters. They learnt how to create Excel graphs. There was a wide variety of learning, not just making them happier.